Hi guys, so today we're going to look at the best dividend stocks on the US stock market. And the way we're going to look at this is split it into two different categories. Firstly, we're going to look at the top 10 stocks with the longest history of increasing dividends. And then we'll look at stocks that have consistently traded at yields above 2.5%, which are currently trading at 6-month highs. Now, we'll look at the reason why this is important a bit more later on, but essentially, stocks with unusually high yields are usually stocks that have seen a dramatic decrease in share price, which isn't the best, and it's why you shouldn't really just look at yield on its own. Anyway, let's look at dividend aristocrats first. If you aren't already aware, dividend aristocrats are stocks that have increased their dividends for more than 25 years in a row. Many of them fit the definition of a blue chip bottom drawer stock, so names like AT&T come to mind when thinking about them. Now, as all of these are listed on the US stock market, if you are considering investing in the US stock market, or the majority of your investments are in the US stock market, I suggest checking out the video I did reviewing the Stake app, as the app is focused on solely being the best for US market investors. If you do end up going for it, I have a link in the description which will get you a free share of either Nike, GoPro or Dropbox when you do sign up and fund your account. The important thing is you have to top up within 24 hours of signing up so that you get the free share, so don't forget that. I've had a few people use my link and then not top up within that 24 hours, so you miss out on the free share. And just as a final point, I'm going to highlight the number of consecutive increases and the dividend yield and a brief description of what the company is, but please make sure you do your own research when you do decide to invest in any of these companies to make sure that you are comfortable with all the other financials. So here are 10 stocks that have some of the longest streaks of increasing dividends. Firstly, we've got Dover Corporation. They have had 64 consecutive dividend increases. Dover Corporation is an American manufacturer of industrial products. Its business is currently divided into 5 segments, which are engineered products, fueling solutions, imaging and identification, pumps and process, solutions, and refrigeration and food equipment. It currently has a dividend yield of 1.69%. So not the highest, but not the worst either. Next, we've got Federal Realty Investment Trust, also with 64 consecutive increases. As the name suggests, it is actually a REIT, which is a real estate investment trust, and these are brilliant to invest in because they do have to pay out the majority of their profits as dividends, which is why it has a fairly great dividend yield of 5.88%. Obviously, real estate investment trusts are basically like ETFs for property, and this particular one invests in shopping markets, or shopping centers rather, in the northeastern United States, the mid-Atlantic states, California and South Florida. As at the end of the last year, it had interest in 104 shopping centers. Next, we've got 3M with 62 consecutive increases. Now, 3M is a company you've probably heard of before. It is an American multinational conglomerate corporation operating in the fields of industry, worker safety, US healthcare, and consumer goods. It was founded over 118 years ago and now sits comfortably on the Fortune 500 list. It produces over 60,000 different products under several different brand names. A fun fact about 3M is the N95 respirator mask was actually developed by them in 1972. The dividend yield here is 3.67%, which is pretty great. Next, we have Procter & Gamble with 63 consecutive increases. Now, Procter & Gamble was founded 183 years ago, and it's probably one you've heard of as well. It's an American multinational consumer goods corporation. It specializes in a wide range of personal health and consumer health and personal care and hygiene products. Now, these products are organized into several categories: beauty, grooming, healthcare, fabric and home care, and baby, feminine, and family care. There are some names that you are probably familiar with that are actually owned by Procter & Gamble. Fairy Liquids and Fairy Laundry Detergent, Lenor, Oral-B, Head & Shoulders, and Always Feminine products. Obviously, that is not an exhaustive list, but those are some of the ones that are fairly popular, at least in the UK. It is also a member of the S&P 500, as with all the others, but it is also a member of the S&P 100. And the dividend yield here is 2.22. Next, we've got Cincinnati Financial with 60 consecutive increases. I really don't have much to say here because it's an insurance company and there's not much you can say about insurance. It was founded over 70 years ago and it focuses on property and casualty insurance. I did try to find some cool stuff about them, but I couldn't because it's insurance and it's boring. but the dividend yield is 3.22%. Next, we've got everyone's favorite, Coca-Cola. It has had 58 consecutive dividend increases. I think the majority of people know about Coca-Cola. It is a multinational beverage corporation and it's been around for 128 years. It does own loads of other brands such as Fanta, Dr. Pepper, Smart Water, Powerade, Lilt and more. However, if you are into ethical investing, just be aware that Coca-Cola is the world's biggest producer of plastic waste. The dividend yield here is 3.32%. Next, we've got Colgate-Palmolive with 57 consecutive dividend increases. Again, I'm pretty sure you would have heard of this. It's an American multinational consumer products brand. It specializes in the production, distribution, and provision of household, healthcare, personal care, and veterinary products, which I did not know. Again, if you're an ethical investor, it has been cited one of the top 10 plastic polluters in the world. It does own many brands, but obviously the two most popular are Colgate and Palmolive, and it's been around for a whopping 214 years. The dividend yield here is 2.1%. Next, also with 57 consecutive increases is Johnson & Johnson. Founded 134 years ago, Johnson & Johnson is an American multinational corporation that develops medical devices, pharmaceuticals, and consumer packaged goods. It is number 36 on the S&P 500 and is actually considered one of the world's most valuable companies. It owns about 250 subsidiary companies and sells products in over 175 countries. For some of its most well-known products, we've got things like Band-Aid, Tylenol medications, Johnson's baby products, which obviously the most well-known product, I think, Neutrogena skincare products, as well as the Aveeno skin products range. The dividend yield for Johnson & Johnson is 2.9%. Next, we've got Hormel Foods with 54 consecutive increases. It was founded 129 years ago and focused primarily on the packaging and selling of things like ham, spam, sausage, and other pork, chicken, beef, and lamb products to its customers. However, it now operates in over 80 countries and offers a wide range of packaged and refrigerated foods. And the dividend yield is 1.88%. And finally on this list, we've got Stanley Black & Decker with 52 consecutive dividend increases. It was founded 170 years ago and it's basically a hardware company. It manufactures industrial tools and household hardware, as well as provides security products. The dividend yield here is 1.57%. So now let's look at 5 stocks that have yields above 2.5% and are actually also trading at their 6-month highs. As mentioned previously, you really shouldn't be fooled by stocks with exceptionally high yields. A dividend is a function of the stock's profits, a fixed sum rather than a percentage of the share price. The yield is simply the fixed amount divided by the share price. What this means is that stocks with unusually high yields are usually ones that have seen a dramatic decrease in their share price. If you want an example of this, you can look at Frontline, which is currently yielding about 30%, but the share price is down 57% in 2020. Of course, this may fit your investment strategy, but just be aware that high yields aren't always as good as they seem, and this just illustrates perfectly why you should do the research before you decide to buy a stock. So if you do look at stocks trading at 6-month highs, you can find stocks that are not only paying a good dividend, but are also performing well. In fact, the better your stock performs, the lower the dividend yield will be. It's not really a problem, it's just something to be aware of. Again, these are all listed on the US stock market, and if you can't find them on the trading apps that you use, then you can always try out Stake. First, we've got Arbor Realty Trust. It is currently yielding 9.8%. Arbor Realty Trust, again, World Realty in it, means it's a real estate investment trust. This basically explains the really high yield. It invests in a portfolio of structured finance assets in the multifamily and commercial real estate markets. The next one is Enviva Partners. It is yielding 7.13%. Enviva is the world's largest producer of industrial wood pellets. That's basically an energy source that is used to generate electricity and heat. It's actually what we use to heat the house here in Poland. The next one is Newell Brands. It has a dividend yield of 4.7%. Newell Brands is an American worldwide manufacturer, marketer and distributor of consumer and commercial products. It owns a portfolio of different brands such as Yankee Candle, Sharpie and Crock-Pot. Next, we've got the Southern Copper Corporation. It has a dividend yield of 3.7%. It's basically a mining company that was founded in 1952. Southern Copper is actually the world's largest publicly traded copper mining company, as well as being the world's 7th largest copper mining company based on 2007 sales. And finally, we've got Tronox Holdings. It has a dividend yield of 2.39%. It's an American worldwide chemical company, mostly involved in titanium products. It mines and processes titanium ore, zircon, and other materials, and manufactures titanium dioxide pigments that add brightness and durability to paints, as well as plastics, paper, and other everyday products. I hope you found that useful and that you've maybe found a stock that you will research a bit more and add to your portfolio. I'll personally be adding quite a few of these, especially the Dividend Aristocrat ones. So look out for that in my future portfolio updates. But otherwise, this has probably been a fairly long video. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
We were 16 up all night. Love and heartbreak was our life. We got drunk and smoked your dad's cigarettes. Dreamt of a life in a big